am with my partner in crime here, Miss Kristen Ansoa.
Good morning.
And we are doing a Bubbles and Brunch live wine tasting today. You excited?
So excited.
I'm excited.
Nothing I love more than bubbles. You know this.
This is true. I actually nicknamed her Bubbles years ago because it just really fits. So when we thought about doing our first show together, we've done shows with wineries and so forth, but we've never done a show together. It's our first one.
This is.
I am. I'm nervous.
I'm also nervous, but I feel like the champagne will help, right? Bubbles?
And the food, it looks pretty good. So want to start with a couple things. First, if you don't know how our program works, you can go to winemakerwinetastings.com. That's where it has our listing of all of our upcoming shows. We obviously put them on our Facebook page too, but the website is very detailed and has a good listing of everything. Now, we do free shows like today, so there are options where you can just log on and you can check out shows, whether we're doing reviews or talking about barrel releases or new vintages or doing things of that nature. But the focus of our product really is all about the winemaker and education. So we are partnering with wineries across the world, and we're going to start offering more and more tastings where you actually get a chance to meet the winemaker, review the wines that they're showcasing that day, and actually interact. We have a live chat room and so forth. So with that being said, we have a couple really cool ones that should be starting in March. If you want to be a part of those shows, you go to our website and you join. There's a 7-day free trial, so you can check out some of the shows before you actually have to worry about paying for it. And if you want to stay a member, it's only like $4 a month. It's very, very inexpensive.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good deal.
It's phenomenal. And the education and the wine that people can taste and really, truly enjoy, things outside their comfort zone that they wouldn't normally have a chance to taste, offers a lot of variety.
Agreed. And how often you get to meet a winemaker, in all honesty. I mean, they're not out all that often. We've done dinners in the past, and when we have winemakers in town, everyone flocks out for them. So this is your chance to actually meet the winemaker, get in the chat room, ask them questions. Most of these winemakers are going to be shooting from the winery. We've done them in the past where they actually, a gentleman in Argentina actually shot from his barrel room inside the winery. It's really, really cool. Katina Zapata, awesome show. So you'll get to experience all that kind of stuff. And then we also have wine education classes. We have a gentleman, Gary Twining, who's a certified wine educator. He does some education classes. And we have some other wine educators that are going to be coming along and doing some classes as well. So $4 a month, you get access to all the winemaker tastings we do each month, all the education classes we do each month, and everything in between. So it really is a pretty good deal. We've got a pretty good group of people already. Everyone's fun, laid back, we have a good time.
Absolutely. And we also have a tasting sheet coming out. So for every wine tasting we have, you can print a PDF version and add your notes, and the wines that we're sampling will be already on the tasting sheet, as will the winery. And we also want to hear from everyone. So if there's a particular winery that you guys want us to do a virtual tasting with, or a winemaker that you want to meet, please feel free to reach out to us. You can send us a message on Instagram. You can send us a message on Facebook. You can definitely email us at info@winemakerwinetastings.com. And one of us, either Adam and I, will get back to you in a couple minutes.
She's quick.
I am.
I'm going to admit it might take a little longer for me. She's pretty quick.
I am.
But if you know me, sometimes I don't go quite that fast. So we're super excited. This is a new product. We really just launched, technically middle December, something like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's super new. I spent about 6 months literally trying 100 different types of software. Everyone uses Zoom. We don't use Zoom. We have actually 3 different pieces of software that we use so we can get the right feel and get it out to all the different places we want. So we took some time to learn and get it right. And now it's a matter of just getting more and more wineries on board. We've talked wineries in Italy that are going to be coming on board. Kristen's got a really cool deal she's working on right now that's pretty much done, but we're not going to say it quite yet. But it involves 10 plus wineries between California and France. So we're super excited about that. So it's only going to get bigger and better. And then every so often, the two of us will pop on and do some fun shows and get drunk together and enjoy ourselves.
Obviously. That's the best part.
Right. So with that being said, I think we should get started.
Absolutely. We're going to start with the JCB, which is the Jean-Charles Posta 69.
You don't say.
I do say. And JCB is actually the creator and namesake for his entire collection, hence JCB. And every piece of his collection has a number associated with it. So this one is a sparkling rosé, number 69, which is the year he was born. Interestingly enough, it's also the year we went to the moon. So what this represents is unlimited freedom, creativity, freedom of expression, and revolution.
I'm going to show the bottle to everyone just so you can get an idea of label, because I know we can't fit everything on our table here. But this is what the bottle looks like. It is a rosé.
Exclusively Pinot Noir.
All Pinot Noir.
Absolutely.
And for those that don't know, when we talk about doing food pairings, because a lot of places, Americans are a little bit different. We just drink. It's kind of how we roll. But in Europe, really, a lot of people in Europe drink wine only when they eat food. It really is about the pairing of the two. So when we picked out some stuff, we took the varietals that we had, the kind of wines we were drinking, and said, okay, what pairs well with them? Pinot Noir is more of an acidic style varietal. So wines that are higher in acid are great for eating with fattier foods. Salmon, which is why we brought our salmon today. That acid breaks down the fats and helps open it up, so you get more of the flavors of both in your palate. And also, it's great with cheeses. We were going to do some cheeses, but you just only have so much room on your table, and we wanted to stick with the brunch theme. But any of those types of fatty meats, cheeses, and some seafood, it goes really good with. And then the other good thing about Pinot Noir is you've got some great flavors of different fruit, like strawberries.
Raspberry. I think there's some raspberry notes in here too.
What do you smell? I smell strawberries.
I smell strawberry too.
And I really like strawberries. So, shall we taste?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm.
It's good. It's actually a little drier than I thought it would be. I was expecting more sweet, but it's not. It kind of comes across a little bit more like a traditional brut.
It does, and it's very light.
Yeah, it's not.
It's very light.
So I'm glad we picked this first. This is actually.
It's a great starter.
It is a great starter.
You should salmon with it.
You should salmon with it. It's like a dance move.
It is. It's delicious.
So JCB is our California one. So in our lineup today, we've got 4 countries.
Yeah.
We have Spain, California, France,
Italy, right?
and then Italy.
Yeah.
So you're going to learn a little bit about sparkling from all these different places, and then you can decide. I don't know, how many of you, it looks like we've got people online, obviously, so. Oh, hi, Nikki. We see you in the chat room. We do have a chat room. It's going to be hard to type back because of all this going on, but we'll read your questions and talk out loud. Has anybody got bottles open right now and drinking with us here at 10:45 in the morning? We'd love to see what you guys are drinking. If anyone was able to find some of these that we post on the site. And just so everybody knows, we are in the process. We've already spoke with a handful of local retailers here in the Cleveland market. I'm working on the Phoenix market as well. And then we're going to talk to some of our wineries about working with their distributors in their states. So if you're tuning in from outside the Cleveland or Phoenix area, which is kind of our hub, we'll work on those as well. But we will have a list of retailers that are going to start carrying these products and make it a little bit easier so you don't have to go and request all the time. You'll be able just to go to their store and pick it up. However, any small mom and pop boutique wine shop is always about taking care of their customers. So if you see wines that are in our lineup, just call them and say, hey, I'm looking for this. Can you please get it for me? As long as you order by Monday of that week at the latest, they can order it and get it in. And no winery is going to, no shop is going to say, no, I can't bring it in.
Super accommodating.
Yeah, when I had my wine shop, we always did that. People were looking for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to bring it in. So just call your local shop and say, hey, we're doing some live virtual tastings. These are the wines I'm looking for, and they'll be happy to bring it in for you. So I want to move on to the second one, but I really like this first one.
It's definitely, and it's good. It's dry. I like it.
I agree. There's something about,
And the gentleman, JCB, have you ever seen him?
You should talk about him because I've been watching a couple of shows. The guy's amazing. He is a true entertainer.
True. So Jean-Charles does cooking shows, and I got the honor of speaking with him. And just 100% such a wonderful, charismatic man. He is so educated. He goes into depth on everything. He does very eccentric shows, very lively and interactive shows. And I expected nothing less when I took a sip of this than to have an explosion of bubbles in my mouth, and that's exactly what it was.
I'm half tempted to start doing some of the things he does, like standing on bar stools and spinning around during shows.
And coming out of the angel wings.
Oh yeah, he really is an entertainer. So Jean-Charles Bosset, part of his collection that people might see on a regular basis, Buena Vista, one of the oldest wineries in Napa. They make great juice. There is the Count, which is a red blend. They have the Reserve, which is a phenomenal bottle of wine as well. They also own Raymond Vineyards, which is some higher-end red wines out of Napa that are phenomenal. We actually did a VIP winemaker tasting with them 3 years ago. So hopefully we'll be able to get Raymond back.
Yeah.
There's a ton of stuff. So their portfolio is really huge. So do a search, do Jean-Charles Bosset, and check out some of his wineries because you're going to start seeing hopefully some of them here moving forward.
You just let the cat out of the bag.
My bad. So I think we're going to stay on the whole rosé theme. And the next wine we're going to go to is going to be another rosé style sparkling. And this is going to be a Cava from Spain.
I'm excited.
Allow me to make room in my glass.
It's a very pretty color.
It is a little bit darker. Yeah, you're going to have to finish it. I'll pour a little lighter in these next couple ones so we don't get too carried away. Allow me.
I appreciate you.
So just like the JCB, this is the Viva la Vida. This is actually a project that was made by a good friend of ours who we've actually done shows with and who's going to be doing more shows. We're doing a show with him in a couple weeks for a new release of a wine they're doing. This is Hunter Vogel's project from Treasure Hunter Wines, Treasure Cellars, Mumbo Jumbo, One Time Spaceman. They make a whole bunch of stuff. But Hunter is a great guy. We've been doing events with them, and we have some good stuff coming forward. But this was a project he partnered with and making a Cava style. So Cavas are your Spanish style bubbles. You know, each country kind of has its own names, and for people that think everything is called champagne, it's not. You really can't call champagne champagne unless it's made in Champagne, France. I said champagne 3 times. I think.
You did, and most people don't know that.
I know. I think most would say it's I'm going to get some champagne,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. It's sparkling wine. It's brewed. It's extra brewed. It's extra dry. It's Cava. It's Prosecco. It's Moscato. I mean, there's a slew of sparklings out there, but you cannot call champagne champagne unless it's made in Champagne, France. So there's a couple wines that are very, very similar in style. Like I believe the JCB said they make their brewed very similar in style to how champagne is made
Correct.
in France.
Absolutely, they do. Mm-hmm.
Northern Italy, the Francoquotas, they make wine. Bonfadini is a winery up there that makes incredible sparkling, and they really are the exact same as champagne, just not made in Champagne, France. So you can check out Bonfadini. I'm trying to get her to do a show with us out of Italy, Francesca. She's awesome.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I got a bottle downstairs. Maybe we'll open it if we can't get around. Mix it into a tasting.
Can we do it?
Do you want to savor it?
I do want to savor it.
You're going to savor?
I will savor.
I'm going to stand. I have a samurai sword in my office. We can
This
use
could
that.
get dangerous.
It could be interesting. I'm staying at least 10
We
feet
should
away.
probably do it outside.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay.
So spring.
Yeah, I'm not going out in the snow.
Yeah, she really doesn't like this. So cool thing about Cava, same grape. So this is 100% Pinot Noir. Got a little bit more of that acid in it. And you really do. A lot of these Pinot Noirs, the strawberries and baked raspberries really, really come out. So, shall we?
Yeah.
You actually get a little bit, almost like a creaminess, like the vanilla in the nose, a little bit more than the other one.
Yeah. I'm going to watch your face.
And it's definitely a little bit sweeter. I think there's a little bit residual sugar in here. My guess is, what does the JCB say the alcohol is in the back? A lot of times you can get an idea of how much residual sugar is left in wine or sparkling by looking at your alcohol. When your alcohol levels are lower, that typically means you're going to have a little more sugar. When your alcohol levels are higher, that just means it's going to have less sugar, because basically how alcohol works is simple. Yeast and sugar, they have a party together. They dance, they drink, they enjoy each other's company, and then they make alcohol and carbon dioxide. So
JCB's at 12%.
this is an 11. So this is going to be just a little bit sweeter than the JCB is. And you can taste it. I get just a little bit more sweetness in there.
Agree. Mm-hmm.
But really, really, really good Cava. Has anyone ever had Cava before? With all of our faithful friends out there? Cava is super, super tasty. There are...
I feel like Nikki has. I'm just going to pick on her because I know she's out there.
I see her out there too. I see Nikki twice.
I know.
Most Cavas, though, I don't see a lot of rosé Cavas. I see a lot of like your traditional, white Cavas.
Absolutely.
But they're phenomenal. So you should probably. I think you should try a little piece of strawberry with it.
Okay.
I think you should.
Go on in.
I'm going to do it because honestly,
they're
I
cut
think
very beautifully. For those of you who would like to see how beautifully these are cut, very hard to beat.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, but strawberries and this Cava together, it's a match made in heaven. See how good that goes together.
Oh.
See?
That's delicious.
I mean, it's great by itself, but you start adding other stuff like that in there, things get real, real good.
Yeah, we should have poured a bigger a bigger glass.
We might have to come back and revisit some of these.
That is delicious, for sure.
After we stop recording, I have a feeling we have 4 bottles of champagne, so it's a Sunday, we got food. Could get interesting.
It'll be fun.
So with that, we're going to maneuver. I guess I have to finish this, don't I?
Yeah.
We're going to maneuver to our third sparkling, and Kristen's going to tell you everything in the entire world that you want to know about Prosecco. Well, maybe not everything.
Pretty sure that's absolutely false. But this is our Cavalli Prosecco. I appreciate the blue label, not gonna lie. I think it's very pretty.
It does look good.
I know. This is my favorite part. Did you know that?
Are you gonna try to shoot me with it? Nerves.
No, absolutely not. But this is my favorite part of opening a bottle is the pop. Everyone that knows me knows that.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Absolutely, please do.
So back in the day, I mean, I worked in the bars and restaurant business most of my life, and I was working at a friend's restaurant here in Mayfield, Arabiata's Italian restaurant. Love this place. I'm throwing plugs out for people, so if you've never been to Arabiata's and want Italian food, stop at Arabiata's. Good friends of mine, known my whole life.
And I know someone who works there because my daughter took dance class with her.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to eat there sometime. Phenomenal.
We did takeout.
Did you?
When the pandemic first started, we ordered takeout, and it was phenomenal.
Seriously, some of my favorite Italian around. But so I was a server at the time, and it was actually New Year's Eve, and I was still an amateur. I was in my early 20s, and sure enough,
You're not still?
you know, I'm aging slow due to the wine, but no, sorry. However, I did pop a bottle of champagne, and the cork flew, bounced off the ceiling, and literally landed in some lady's wine glass and shot wine all over her dress. No joke. I felt so bad. Thankfully, this lady was super cool. She was laughing about it. She thought it was hilarious. But the chances of something like that happening, that was how I learned how to not open a bottle of sparkling.
So what did you do incorrectly?
Truthfully, when you're at a restaurant, if you're working in a restaurant or anything like that, you should always take a napkin and put over the top. That's really the number one thing. Because for 2 reasons. Number one, if it got shook up and it starts volcanoing, you have something to control the showers of fun.
Oh, correct.
But also to keep the cork from flying and shooting someone's eye out. So, but now that I've gotten better at it, I'm now actually more like a loaded gun. So I usually actually take it and just aim at someone and make sure I can usually hit something pretty good.
I'm not that good.
I think on the last one, I'll let you open it, and I'm going to see if you can.
With the TV.
Yeah, see if you can shoot it all the way over there.
All right. We should do that.
This could be super entertaining.
All right. Prosecco. This is actually one of my favorites.
Is it?
It is. I love Prosecco. It's made in Veneto and Friuli region of Italy. And mainly made from Gelida grapes.
Gelida grapes.
Gelida grapes, yes.
Yeah, these.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, and there's also some Prosecco is weird because, and a lot of these things in Italy, especially their white wines, they're made with grapes, what we call field grapes. Mm-hmm. Grapes that you've never heard of, like on the Cava. It's made Macabeo is one of the main grapes. I mean, there's tons of grapes that we could shoot out, but I can't pronounce some of them. I'll totally admit it. I mean, because these are field blends that you just don't ever hear of. But
I use the Siri dictation, or the Google, if I want to pronounce something. Because,
does it work?
It does. It actually enunciates it very, very slowly, so you really, truly get to understand what it's saying. It's a phenomenal tool. So
maybe we should bring Google into some of our tastings. So if we want to get our pronunciations right, we can say, "Go for it, Google. Talk."
Sometimes she gets a little crazy.
She's a little fickle, especially on a Sunday morning. She's the one to bother.
Especially because it's snow.
She don't like the snow either.
She doesn't.
You guys must be sisters. Know each other real, real well.
It's true.
So Prosecco. So do we have an alcohol in this one too, by chance?
You're testing me without my glasses. Should
I don't drink a ton of Prosecco.
11.
11.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's. I know like one of the most well-known ones, La Marca. A lot of people have heard of La Marca Prosecco.
Very much so.
And I'll be honest, for me, Prosecco, I think I don't drink it a lot by itself. I like to use it with my mimosas.
I drink it a lot by itself.
You don't say.
I do. I'm also allergic to fruit, so I feel like I have no choice.
Well, you are tech.
Yeah, it's okay.
You took a piece of strawberry.
And we have it on video that you tried to kill me. So it's okay.
And that beat the ER 911 on emergency dial here.
Oh.
Totally different flavor profiles.
Way different.
Yeah. I'm getting almost like this honey. Like, I think this is something that would pair really good with like apples,
Take your pick.
pears. Oh, we do have red delicious and green delicious. Is that a
Granny Smith.
Granny Smith?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as green delicious, is there?
There's not. It's okay. I liked green delicious.
I also
Way
think,
different.
yeah, and then I also think there's a little less carbonation too. It's not as.
Are you a fan of
explosive about-
carbonation?
Kind of when I'm drinking sparkling, like I like all those bubbles popping around in there.
So I am the exact same way. So for me, the JCB had the most explosive carbonation.
I would agree.
Yes.
And it's, I don't know, it just
like
kind of makes it fun.
Yeah. I mean, bottle pops, and then there's carbonation, and I expected more, but it's good.
Well, and I think that's why, like, when you're drinking it by itself, I think that carbonation is great. When you're drinking it with mimosas, I think a little less carbonation is probably good because of the fact you're mixing with some OJ or pineapple juice or whatever.
Grapefruit juice would be phenomenal in this.
Actually, that's probably right. That should be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, some of these sparklings, based on their flavor profile, which juice do you pair it with? You could
Grapefruit.
actually do a whole special on mimosas.
I have some special guests that would probably want to appear in this.
We could do that, like we've done at the last show.
Mhm.
If you're sitting at home and we could
That
have
was my home.
that was your home. So we could do somethhere each house like has a mimosa that they make, and we pull them in, and everyone kind of talks about the mimosa they made, and have a big
Absolutely.
mimosa party.
I'm in.
Fun.
If you're in on that, you can send us a message. We'll include you, right?
I would, yeah.
Mimosa bar. We can make some good appetizers.
I bet Nikki's gonna.
2K? Oh, for sure. She loves her bubble.
She loves bubbles.
She does. Almost more than I do.
No.
True.
Is that possible?
Well, yes, because I also enjoy, as you're well aware, a Pinot Noir or a good Cab Sauv. And Nikki loves her bubbles. She likes her bubbles no matter what season it is outside.
All right, Nikki. I'm glad I learned this about you. You could have came and joined us today.
She has an hour drive.
Oh, she's far.
At 10:30 in the morning, that's
Okay. And snow.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna happen.
not going to happen.
You get a
Maybe
little
on
nut-
Wednesday, though. Don't we have something on Wednesday? Are
Think
we
so.
going to be at M Cellars?
Oh yeah. That's right. I'm glad you actually brought that up. 'Cause
We
it's
can
great-
bring her.
We could bring her. So this Wednesday, for all of you that are really into learning about wine and want to meet a winemaker, Matt Meineke is the owner and winemaker of M Cellars, which is out in the Geneva/Madison area here in Ohio. And he, without a doubt, makes some of the best wine in Ohio. Him and his wife have always been about quality over quantity. Sometimes you see wineries out there that are just growing as many grapes as they can so they can make as much wine as they possibly can. And they're a little bit more thinner in style and, a little softer and a little sweeter and so forth. But Matt, he takes his time. He drops a lot of fruit. That basically means he goes around and like chops off clusters of grapes so that allows the vines to really put forth their energy into the ones left that are on, meaning they're going to be a little bit more richer, a little more concentrated, a little bit bigger so he can get those flavor profiles. So he really is like an artist. He makes amazing wine. So we are going to M Cellars Wednesday night. We will be broadcasting from his winery. I think we might be actually in the barrel room doing it, so I'm really excited.
Me too. And I love that vineyard. We had a real fun time there.
Super good time.
We did.
I got great pictures of her and her daughter running through the vineyard. They were adorable. It could have been literally on the cover of a magazine.
We
It was
had
that
some
good.
great photo shoots, especially with the wine within the grapes.
Right.
And it was beautiful, for sure. The barrel room is going to be nice, though.
I'll give Kristen props. She's pretty good at the setup of pictures. I mean, placing things where they need to be placed so that it looks good. I'm still just a dude. I don't do this.
And that is why we work, because we balance.
Agree. I very
Right.
much agree.
Absolutely.
So yes, tune in on Wednesday night. I believe it's 8:30 p.m.-ish. Go to our website. It has it on there. You do need to be a member, but like I said, if you are not a member yet, just sign up today, tomorrow, Tuesday. Just sign up for the free trial. 7 days. Free trial. If you don't like it, you don't want to stay a member, you don't have to. But
Absolutely.
you still have access to the members area, have access to the show. Right now, our show today is being pumped out on all of our channels, so it's in our Wine CLE Facebook group. If you're a wine lover and you're in Cleveland, look up Wine CLE. It's our new wine Facebook group. It's being broadcast on Taste CLE, Taste Phoenix, Taste USA, Winemaker Wine Tastings, and a slew of others. So, but member shows are not done like that. Sadly, the member shows are only going to be produced on our website, where you actually go to the website. And then we're also putting together a helpful tool to explain the easiest way to do this.
Yes.
Meaning, I'm going to show you how you can take an iPad or your computer, hook it up to your TV, like you have a big screen, so you can actually watch the show live on your big screen. And then you just use your phone for the chat room. It's actually a lot easier than you think. So I'm going to put a little helpful video together to teach everyone how to do that. From Clean Drive. Well, she's talking to me.
She's very polite.
She is polite. She's English.
I appreciate her.
But I want
Prosecco.
Apparently, she's like, hey, have some. So I'll make that video for you guys. Then, if you have questions, you can reach out to us anytime. I'm happy to walk you through the setup and show you how to do it. That way, you can have friends over and everyone can sit on the couch drinking wine.
We had a good time.
It's a blast,
when we did the Treasure Hunter wines, where the Mumbo Jumbo, I had obviously Nikki. Now we keep talking about her, so she's now obligated to come on Wednesdays so the world can see her. But I had a group of friends over and a ton of food.
It looked awesome.
I had a ton of food and we had such a good time.
Yeah,
it was fun, and we kept it under 6 people. So
right, you were.
I was Corona friendly.
Yeah, she was following state mandates, being a very good girl.
And we can see out till 11 now.
Yeah, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to see our friends in the bars and restaurants be able to
Absolutely.
start providing again. So, but I know, with that being said, what she said, if we have a winemaker tasting, we love bringing in at least 1, maybe 2 different outside feeds. So if you would like to have a little wine party at your house, we would love for you to hook up your computer. We'll send you the information and we'll actually make you part of the show. So we'll be doing the live show with the winemaker, but then we can pull you in with full video and audio, and you can ask questions and people can see you and you can have your party online. And if you need help setting up a party, we'll walk you through the steps. Everything from pricing it out, so you know how much it costs in the wine. You can either have people bring food and just chip in on the wine. If you want to just host the whole thing yourself, I can explain how to pair foods with the wines. So we can walk you through it and make it really easy. And it's a great way to spend some time with friends, family, home, and get yourself on the World Wide Web as a celebrity and look cool.
We had a good time.
Yeah, it's a blast. My friend Mindy we did a Michael David tasting, and Mindy had a bunch of people at her house, and it was a blast, a bunch of girls getting a little drunk. It's always entertaining, if you ask me.
And I mean, at any point, you take us off the screen and can mute us. So
Correct.
We were also worried about conversation in the background. And because of the software you use and technology, we were able to interact with each other just as friends, and then interact as a whole with Hunter and Joni and
right.
you on the tasting, which was nice. We had a good time.
Yeah. It's nice having that power. I can mute whenever I want.
And I was appreciative of that.
Well, in case you have kids, they come flying out of a corner or something like that, or start turning lights on and off. You just never know. You just never know. Because that stuff does happen.
Harper just wanted to be on TV.
I don't blame her. She's a little cute.
She liked M Sellers too.
Oh yeah, she had a blast out there.
She was eating the grapes. Remember, she
She
asked
was.
if she could eat the grapes right out.
That's right. That's right.
Very good time.
So Wednesday night, tune in, meet Matt, learn about M Sellers, learn about Ohio wines. Have some fun with us.
It'll be a good
Join
time.
the party.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, we got to get to our last one. How are we doing on our time? We're looking pretty good now. 30, 45 minutes. I think it's about right. And listen, along the way, folks, if you guys have questions, by all means, post away. It's hard for us to reply with texting or typing, but we can definitely reply and we can read them. We have the screen up. So if you are in any of these rooms and you're seeing this and you have questions about stuff, or you just want to ask us something silly, by all means, go for it. We're here to answer.
I appreciate a silly question. Right?
I absolutely appreciate a silly question.
Yeah. Oh, no, I have to do it. We bet.
Okay. Here, I'm going to do this.
How are we going to show everyone?
You have nails, so this makes it easier on you.
I'm
Don't
nervous
shoot
too.
me.
I'll try not to shoot you.
You know what's going to happen? She's going to do this. It's going to go right in my face.
Where am I doing this? You want me to do that? No, you don't want to hit the TV. All right.
This could be interesting.
Right?
No, you got to use your thumb if you're going to get it a little.
Well, that's why I was going to get
shit.
it a little started. You got this?
I don't know where to
Watch
go.
your face. Look, I'm decking because everyone knows how reckless I am.
Oh, that was awesome. See?
All the
She
way
did
across
good.
the room in case anyone was concerned.
I think that's phenomenal. I'm pulling up our chat room right now because I want to see if anyone's in the website chat room as we speak.
You know what we should do is educate people on how to pour true champagne. Like on below deck. Don't they do it underneath? Isn't
Yes.
that
In the punt. It's that little thing that sticks underneath the wine with the punt. Let's see. Who is on our chat? So the one we're finishing right now, by the way, is what you call a Blanc de Blanc. So Champagne is traditionally Chardonnay. Oh, yeah, that would make it.
Thank you.
There's two grapes that are typically used in Champagne. Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. And that's where you get like Blanc de Blanc from. But Chardonnay is the main one.
Correct.
And this one is a Blanc de Blanc. So it's going to be mostly Chardonnay. But it also has...
A little heavy hand on that one, sorry. I poured with my right and I'm left-handed.
But this one actually isn't like a traditional Champagne because it's not Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. There's actually no Pinot Noir in it. There's also, what we, like again, we call field blends, things that you just don't hear about very often that are like the Ugni Blanc. Like most people have not heard of things like this. I mean, there's grapes out there that they use that just most people don't hear of. But this is a Champagne from France.
True Champagne.
True Champagne.
That's the best way to end bubbles and brunch.
It is. And there are some great champagnes that are out there. There was one I really was trying to get for this called Boutard. It was one of my favorites. And the distributor that we got a lot of these from, they actually used to carry it, no longer did. I was really sad when I was reaching out to them. But if you haven't had true Champagne, I highly suggest splurging once in a while. Spend the $50, the $75, get yourself a nice bottle of Champagne because it really is an amazing experience. It's different. It's going to be drier. And Chardonnay grape is such a bigger mouthfeel of a kind of a varietal.
Mm-hmm.
Pinot Noir, more acidic. Chardonnay, totally not. It's softer. And it's got more of that creaminess texture to it. So it's just going to be a different style. And it's more of like a meal in a glass instead of just drinking. So, and it pairs with just about everything. Shellfish, seafood, all kinds of good stuff. So
French toast.
Yeah, no one saw this because it's hard to see, but you know, we'll show.
We did make some wonderful French toast, salmon, smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon.
It's phenomenal.
And look at the French toast.
Shrimp cocktail.
I'm legit gonna smash all this stuff as soon as we're done. It's gonna be really, really enjoyable.
It is.
I'm excited.
And Charlie gets a piece, right?
Yeah, Charlie would definitely get a piece.
Charlie's Adam's dog, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah,
He's been such a good boy.
Yeah, he is not making any noises so far. I mean, he's been very, very well behaved. So, but he definitely will enjoy some salmon for sure. So, should we see what we like about this?
Off the bat, I like the way it smells.
I do too. I'm getting like super like honeydew or honeysuckle.
Okay.
Like that green, green sweet fruit. Not in a sweetness way, but like that honey kind of.
Cantaloupe? No,
Yeah,
no, cantaloupe's orange.
Yeah, but it's still
Honey,
it's similar to that. But yeah, definitely get that. You're really not supposed to swirl champagne. It's a big no-no.
Oh.
Totally, completely different than everything we've had. In a league of its own. And it's not about good or bad. It's just literally a completely different style. I mean, it's dry.
100% Granny Smith apple taste.
Yeah, that's that green fruit you're getting, right?
Absolutely. It's 11%.
Yeah.
I looked.
You did look.
Listen, I'm a quick study. So I knew you were going to ask, and my eyeballs looked. It was 11%.
Yeah, I like this. The Rubus Blanc de Blanc. There was another Blanc de Blanc we were going to bust out today, but these are made. These are made, and it would actually have been totally different too because it was Oregon. Argyle.
True.
Love that Argyle stuff. Those Blanc de Blancs. They're super, super tasty.
You almost, in my opinion, need to pair something sweet with it.
I know, and it's only. I mean, the alcohol's low, so you would think it's going to be really sweet, but it's pretty dry.
Can we take a sip?
I'm ready to hear your suggestion.
And then go ahead and eat the strawberry with chocolate on it. Just a little one. Just take it's dark chocolate too. It's not milk. But you have to take a sip first.
For me?
Yeah. Right. It's got that deep cocoa. So 100% it's healthy. No need to work out.
I mean, you even get like that traditional like slight butteriness that you get from a Chardonnay.
Sure. Yes. And I'm very interested to see how it goes with taste, sip, taste. I feel like it's going to be delicious.
I mean, that's horrible.
I don't believe you.
Listen, I'm gonna ask. They're both really good by themselves, but together, it's like a marriage in your mouth. They really are super good together.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I didn't know if I was going to like the chocolate with
I saw you
with
hesitate
Chardonnay.
when you looked at me like I was crazy for a
I'm like,
second.
should I do chocolate? But it's actually pretty good because for lower alcohol, you would think this is sweet, but the wine comes across, in my mind, very, very dry.
Very dry.
So I like a little bit of the perk of the chocolate in here. I'd say try this, but actually, since I forgot that you're allergic to fruit, I would suggest not trying it.
I'm gonna just go here and see what happens. Right? The little sweet honey in here. And
I bet that's going to pair really, really good with it. Because you're getting that, like, that toast. And that toast, and I'm not talking about the food toast, I mean like the toastiness of it, that char, that slight char that's on the French toast. I think it gives you that rustic feel, and I think that's what's going to pair, because this Chardonnay is just such a bigger...
It's terrible, don't eat any of it.
Don't even try it.
Don't even try it, Adam.
Whatever you do. Okay, that's not happening.
That's
you know this.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I think the Chardonnay is going to be real, real good with that.
And the maple syrup. And I don't know what chef prepared all this, but it was delicious and beautiful. That's where it's at.
I'm so speechless.
Yeah, it's really good.
No, that's mine. So next time you go out and you get a Chardonnay-based sparkling,
French toast sticks.
make some French toast.
You can either make them yourself or buy them pre-made. And I personally made them, but I didn't make them soggy, so I used a lot less egg, and I gave it that crunch because we like crunch. So I'm in on that.
No, I think these are spot on. I love this pairing.
Delicious.
I think for me, the Viva La Vida and the strawberries were pretty much awesome.
The JCB and salmon, right?
Yeah, the JCB and the salmon I really like together. But I'm really, really digging the Blanc de Blanc with that French toast.
And speaking of food tastings, we're going to start putting up ideas of food tastings with our wine pairings.
Right. Like, so when you see our stuff, and granted, like, you know, everything's happening in steps right now.
Correct.
But as we have our tastings, we put them up. We'll be working with our winemakers, and if we do our own, we'll ask them, you know,
absolutely,
what do you think are good pairings with this? So
yeah,
you can have a chance to prepare like a nice little plate and have some snacks ready for everybody, and that makes good sense. We'll give you guys some good ideas. Who knows? We might even find some really awesome recipes that we've never had or other people haven't had, and opens up your eyes to some new things.
I mean, the salmon and the French toast I've never done.
Yeah, you're right. When I said smoked salmon today or yesterday, you're like, what's that?
Yeah, and I love salmon. I just wouldn't have put it with a dill and chive cream cheese and then thrown it on a cracker or a bagel.
And you killed it.
And had it as breakfast.
You absolutely killed it. It's super good.
It's delicious.
Let's see. So if you're a Facebook user, that means you're in our wine CLE group. For some reason, group pages on Facebook do not show names.
And we appreciate you.
So whoever you are that said, I drink
Prosecco. She, Facebook user, I'm going to say she, was talking about the Prosecco. And that's when that comment came in. So it had something to do with the Cavalli Prosecco.
There you go.
I'm drinking it a lot because we talk about how much we drink it. I drink it.
You drink a lot. I do, and I'm more of a Prosecco mimosa mixer. That's what
that was. So we can't see this.
Yeah, we don't know your name, so we apologize.
This is good.
I'm definitely a fan. I've never had this before, and I'm a big fan.
So out of the 4 we sampled today, what have you had prior to 10:30 a.m. today?
Viva La Vida I've had before. Or 9:30. I may have dipped into some bubbles earlier.
All right, so Viva La Vida.
I've had his stuff before. I've never had any of the other 3, so I love having a chance to try new wines and learn about some new stuff. So, but I have the Viva La Vida before. Now, you want, you know,
I want to know what surprised you the most. Which one surprised your palate?
I'm gonna say the Rubus, this last one.
Okay.
And I think it's because they use such a bizarre group of grapes. It's not such a traditional Blanc de Blanc. It's like, you know, most of the time you're gonna see the champagnes like 80% Chardonnay, 20% Pinot Noir. That's typically what you see. But this was like 20% Chardonnay, and the rest are like blends of some off grapes that these various Blancs that most people haven't heard of. So it threw me for a loop a little bit, like, and not in a bad way. I really like it. I got a little bit of nuttiness in it. I got a little bit of toast, and then I got that creaminess, like almost like that cake, like almost like vanilla cake. And then the green fruit, like I said, the honeydew and the melon. I think it's phenomenal. And your pairing with the French toast was.
It would be good with a nut roll too.
Yeah, or even like a cinnamon bun, something like that. It'd be really, really good with. It's a good thing we're allowed to eat that.
No, okay.
So
I was curious to see where you're.
And then the next thing is when we do this, we're going to have to get to the point where we start doing scorings. Like, I get a little nerdy about this stuff. I've got a good friend that when we drink wine,
Very familiar.
We write it all out. We do.
Well, the tasting sheet is a starting point.
Correct.
And we can print the tasting sheet and tailor it to the winery, winemaker that we're with, and every wine is unlisted. We can go from there. But I'm in on scoring.
I think it's good because you can do nose, so you get your smells and aromas.
Correct.
And then you do your front palate, your mid palate, and then the back palate. And then you do an overall. At least that's what we typically do. So we have 5 scores.
And for those of you that feel intimidated by everything Adam just said, who are beginners,
Don't.
as we all begin in somewhere,
Right.
Gary could probably do an education class just based on tastings.
Right, and scoring.
How you score and how you taste
Great
and
idea.
smell and, front, middle. I don't think a lot of people that are beginners in this understand that. And I think people that are intermediate would like a little more depth behind that. That's a great education class.
I agree. And if you are like the majority of the population and you don't have this massive wine knowledge, never ever be afraid to say what you think. When you taste a wine or smell a wine, it might sound silly as heck, but it doesn't matter. Like you got to trust your gut, and there's no right or wrong in wine tasting. Everyone's palates are a little bit different.
And how many ridiculous things do I say?
I've heard some interesting things come out of your mouth. And my mother, God bless her, her favorite thing is, this is nice. That's and I do make fun of her all the time, and I shouldn't.
Your mother.
But it's like, I'm like, Mom, what do you think about this wine? What do you taste? She's like, this is nice.
Because that's her opinion.
I'm working on her on the descriptive words.
Okay, so Mom and I will take a class together.
You can?
Yeah, because
She'd love it.
I think that wine education part of it, to really figure out what you're looking for and smelling and tasting for, is super important.
What if we did, what if you and I do a class, and we can make it a free class, because this is great information to give people.
100%.
Where we teach people about various words to describe different grapes. Like, for example, when I worked at bars and restaurants, I used to tell people for red wine, there's basically a triangle. There's black fruit, there's red fruit, and there's blue fruit.
Okay.
So when you're tasting wines, traditionally, most red wines are going to lean into one of those directions or a blend. For example, like Cabernets, these big reds, are going to lean towards your black fruits, your plums, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Merlot, Grenache.
Yes.
They're going to lead a little bit more towards your red fruit. So those are going to be, and even Pinot, strawberry, raspberry, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have wines like Monastrell that are, or also known as Mourvedre in France, Monastrell in Spain. They're going to lead towards your blue fruits. You're going to get like blueberry, boysenberry. So we could actually do a small class and explain some of those things that if you're tasting wine, this is where things are going to kind of lead to. I mean, it might be a good idea to do something like that.
I agree.
You down?
I love learning. So
Tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow's Monday, so it's probably going to be Mondays are hard.
Mondays are hard.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good idea.
I'm in on a Thursday.
I like Thursday.
A Friday afternoon. A Friday happy hour class.
You could do a Friday happy hour class.
I'm in for any day but Monday.
As wine drinkers out there, what do you want to learn about? Because we really would love to do classes and talk about certain things that are or what people are interested in. I mean,
yeah, it's not about us.
No, I mean, it really isn't.
No,
we benefit from it because we have bottles open, but
we want to know what you guys want to know.
Right. I mean, it's important to go after that kind of stuff.
And what winemaker, who do you want to see?
Right.
What winery do you need us to reach out to and get to host a tasting and figure out what you like? Can
you imagine your favorite winery, like one of your go-to wines? Say, listen, I love Joel Gott, or I
do love Joel Gott.
Do you?
We know that.
Well, and we're working on Joel Gott. I kind of threw that out there, but
that's why I threw it up. That's why I agree. Because you knew I love Joel Gott.
But if you have wineries you like, just shoot us a message. Do you want to learn about regions? Do you want to understand like the different AVAs that are in Oregon, or the different regions of Burgundy, or regions of Bordeaux, and right
Yes.
bank and left bank. I mean, there's so much cool information out there. There's a guy by the name, I'm going to say his name, and hopefully he sees this. His name's Dan Greathouse. He works with Heidelberg. He is Mr. France. Like, this guy is amazing. He knows so much about wine. He works with Heidelberg Distributing, who we do a lot of business with. And he literally goes to France every year, and he runs their French program. He's one of the most knowledgeable guys I've ever met in French wines. He does classes. And Dan, if you do see this, I'm going to harass you a little bit and beg you to do a show because you're awesome. And I've already learned a ton. I've done his classes.
Well, and then
downtown.
I'm going to find him and harass him.
He's great. He's such a great guy. He really is. So we're going to hopefully get him on. He's a local Cleveland guy. He's got a place in France. He spends time there. He's awesome. So hopefully we'll get that one going too. So anything else we should add to this? I think we've spewed out a ton of information.
I agree. Yeah.
Anyone have any questions? If you have questions, you've got literally T-minus 60 seconds to ask your question. If not, we are going to
We'll see you
smash.
Wednesday.
I will see you Wednesday, but I'm going to smash food. And we have 4 bottles of champagne open. And I'm going to try to make Kristen go play in the snow.
That's a no.
That's a hard no. She really doesn't like this.
No, I prefer Arizona in the winter months, and I prefer Cleveland.
You don't. I know.
Spring,
I
fall, and
do too.
summer. I know.
Arizona in the winter is a great way to go. Great
I
way to
agree.
go.
I agree.
I think the last show I did was while I was out there.
We were separated.
Yeah,
It made my heart sad. It was our first show together.
it was.
I know.
And that's when you had the wine party.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm thankful for my support group back here in Cleveland.
You have a good support group. Batman is great. He's a member of our site.
Yes, he's actually, so Batman is the JCB finder.
Oh, he found it?
Yes.
Batman, thanks, man. We appreciate you. We were having a little bit of a trouble. We had a wine pulled and it went missing, so we had to find a retailer that had it so we could have it for today's show because we didn't want to miss out because we love the people at JCB. So
Yeah.
Batman made it happen.
He came in clutch.
Props to you, Batman. There's a reason you're a superhero. You done good, son.
Phenomenal. That was
It was fun, though.
It
She
was.
showed literally, like I literally had to back up, and she showed up this morning. She's like, "I got JCB." I was real happy.
Yeah. And he said how, and I said, listen, the Dark Knight, right?
That's it.
He came in out.
Good job, Kristen.
Thank you.
Good job, Adam. We'll play it. All right, folks, we're going to cut this thing off. Good morning. Red wines tend to give me a horrible headache. What is a white Burgundy? Tracy. Oh, I know Tracy.
I can't even read
So I'm going to, and this is interesting because this happens to my mom too. My
I get
red
headaches
wine.
after red wine
So-
often.
There's a couple parts of this. Sometimes a lot of these reactions people have, whether it's headaches and things, other things could be allergies. There are hundreds of different types of yeasts that are used for inoculating the wine. When I say that you add yeast to the wine, there's already sugar in the grape. So when you add the yeast, that's called the inoculation process, and that's what starts fermentation. And we didn't talk a lot about this. I didn't get super nerdy today, but like when you make, I didn't. I was really trying to keep it simple and all that good stuff. But now that I've had a little bit of champagne, I'm just going to get super nerdy, so who cares? So with a lot of these different wines, especially like these Pinot Noirs,
My favorite.
which is great. The reason that these are like rosé in color compared to when you see Pinot Noir out of a bottle, it's still light, but it's definitely more of a red wine.
Oh, for sure.
And Tracy, I'm going to answer a question. I'm totally going on an ADD spin right now, so it's just
Tracy,
just
I
roll
will
with me.
circle him back, I promise.
But on these Pinot Noirs, what they do is they don't let them sit on the skins for a long period of time. It's only allowing the maceration process to be shorter. So it's pulling color from it, but not full color. So instead of, maybe they typically in a Pinot Noir might let it sit on the skins during the fermentation for a week, 5 days, something of those sorts. But on things like this, it may sit on for hours or a half a day. So that's where you get that rosé color. Like it still has that red wine, but it's not quite that full depth because most of the color that comes from grapes or comes from wine is pulled from the grape skin.
Correct.
And that's because it allows it to sit on those skins. So you take your grapes, you throw them through the machine that busts them all up, sits in a fermentation tank. They're all broken up, so it's pulling those colors, those tannins, those flavors from the skin, and that's where you get the skin color. So to go back to Tracy's question, is a lot of times on red wines, they add things, besides the yeast and allergy thing, they add things like sulfates. And red wines typically have a little bit more sulfates. And a lot of times sulfates, and I'm actually allergic to sulfur personally. I need a lot of it to jack me up, but most of the time, there's a good chance that sulfates are what's causing you to get headaches in red wine. So if you're looking for a white Burgundy, and for people that don't know what white Burgundy is, Burgundy France is basically two wines, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay. If it's a red, and they don't call them Pinot Noir. If you look at a label, it's not going to ever say Pinot Noir on it. It's never going to say Chardonnay on it if it's from France. It's Burgundy, white Burgundy, or red Burgundy. Red Burgundy being Pinot, white Burgundy being Chardonnay. So with that being said, a good white Burgundy. I think I have one in the basement right now. We can't open it. We'll have too much wine open.
There's a lot happening right here. Yeah.
But if you want, this is a more in-depth question. So Tracy, shoot me a quick email. I probably could put together an awesome list of 5 to 10 from different villages in the Burgundy region that would totally fit your palate. Because honestly, I love white Burgundies. I don't really drink Chardonnay from California for me. Too oaky, too buttery. It does a lot of malactic, so it has a lot of creamy. It's just, I'm just not a big oaky. I don't want to like. I don't enjoy a lot of them. I feel like I'm chewing on like wood chips when I'm drinking it. It's just too much. But white Burgundies they do a lot more in stainless steel or neutral barrels, so it doesn't pull as much of that woody flavor, and you get more of the fruit. And I get a lot of that green fruit. And
this will help with headaches.
Doing the white wines, yeah. If you actually get
Absolutely.
a lot of headaches from red wines, go to whites, and you will probably have way less of a reaction to it for sure.
And then you can explore the whites, right?
Yeah. White wines definitely have less sulfates and so forth in it.
It's a great question.
It is. And all your sulfates are for is to keep bacterial growth from happening in wine. It's basically a antibacterial in a sense for wine. It's relative. It's safe for you. It's just sometimes some people have reactions to it. That's all.
I understand that.
You had a white Burgundy recently?
I haven't.
I think Louis Jadot makes some great Burgundies too.
I haven't bought a ton of wine recently.
Your health kick of the new year.
I am.
I am not.
I am. I'm fine.
It's wine drinking season. This is the prime time to be drinking big reds. So really hoping my buddy Steve Petty will come and drink with me again. He's hiding from everybody.
We'll get him out. I'll be okay.
Yeah, I miss drinking some good wine, like this bottle right here. This is probably one of the best bottles I've had in a very long time.
We all know I can't read that, but maybe everyone else can. I could barely read.
1982. I've got
it's before I was born.
4 bottles left. The Chateau Leoville. It's a Bordeaux, red Bordeaux.
I do love a good Bordeaux.
And look on the back. This is when me and Steve Petty drank this. July 25th, 2018. So Steve, I just gave you a big shout out. Ignore the middle finger at the bottom. I think
he was telling you you're number one.
Actually, I think that is it, because he does get all those pictures as number one.
Number one. Oh my God.
Personally, I really would like to do is the Bordeaux tasting, but Steve's got to be with us.
Okay.
You're going to learn a ton about Bordeaux.
I'm in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to see us do? I never really even asked you that.
No.
Kind of a horrible partner of mine.
Kind of love.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm in.
All right.
I'm in, but I do want to do the education class.
I like the idea.
That's where I'm at.
I think the scoring class is a good idea, and basic terminology is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Like descriptive words, understanding.
Descriptive words and understanding that. I think a lot of people become intimidated around someone who's a little more educated in regards to wines. So I think it would be nice to have that basic education for anyone and everyone that wants to learn. I like to learn.
I do too. Listen, I've been doing this a long time. I still learn all the time.
You're very, very educational.
I think it's good stuff.
100%.
All right, well.
Last one is empty.
Which one do you want? Let's get you pour. We got to do one last little cheers as we sign off.
I'm going to go JCB.
JCB it is. And Dina, thanks if you ever watch this for the recommendation and for getting JCB in the lineup today. We really appreciate it.
She was not kidding. It is her favorite, and I 100% agree with her. Yeah, this is Dina's favorite.
Well,
so Dina, here's to you.
Well, cheers to Dina and JCB. We look forward to the future. To everybody else out there, have an awesome Sunday. Enjoy it. Spend time with friends, family. I know times are tough right now. Hopefully things are going to get better as we move forward. So enjoy your time. I know in Cleveland there's maybe more snow coming today. That's not a horrible thing. I'm actually going to take Charlie for a walk today out in the park. So
that's terrible.
I know. You'll be okay.
I'll be home by a fire.
Right? Join us again. Like we said, Wednesday night is our M Cellars tasting. We also have the One-Time Spaceman. If you like Hunter Vogel from Treasure Hunter Wines, we are doing the One-Time Spaceman show, the new vintage of the GSM, and he is launching a brand new wine from One-Time Spaceman, a brand new Cabernet.
And it's gorgeous.
Awesome.
It's gorgeous.
I saw it at North End, I think it's called North End Wine Bar in Hudson. Scott met him last week, and he brought it out. So super excited. We're going to be doing a lot of different like new releases with Hunter. So that one's coming up. And then I know that Gary's got a California, I believe a California Cab, or no, a Cabernet tasting. So cabs from around the world. He learned California Cab, Argentina, and so forth. So we've got an education class with him coming up, and then hopefully in the next week or so we'll have.
You already spilled the beans.
We'll have our new winery tastings as well.
Quite a few wineries booked. Yeah, absolutely.
We've been talking to Sebastiano, Joe Gott. I got some Oregon people that I've been talking to. So if you love the Oregon style of Pinots, Pinot Gris, Pinot Blanc, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay.
And we got JCB.
And JCB. Super excited about that. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to pull Jean-Charles into the feed. We'll send him the link, and that way we can do the show and have him also pop in, and the winemaker from the specific winery, if that's a possibility. Because I'm telling you, the dude's super exciting.
It's already in the works.
This is her. She does all the good stuff.
Yeah. I love bubbles.
I'm just the techie guy. I just make it all happen on the back end. So, all right. Well, cheers, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We much appreciate the support and the love. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Drink, laugh, love. Cheers.